Theatre is more than storytelling. It is an experience, a shared moment in time that only exists for those present in the room. Within the world of today, dominated by screens, why does theatre still matter? What makes performance so powerful? Today, we will get to meet the people that helps to explore the magic, the struggle, and the impact of theatre arts.
Live performance and film, a good question because many people believe that they are the same thing. You just go and you just act, But when you're acting before the camera, it's quite different from when you're acting on stage. One of the little things I could point out is that when you are on stage, you have an audience a little distance away from you. You need to project in a certain way, you need to do gestures in a certain way and so on and things like that. When you come before the camera, you don't do that.
Theater is big, right? And so when you are in a theater production, all of your actions are big, even your voice. You work on projection because while the theater may have mics, we're still trained to reach the last person at the back of the theater by throwing your voice. And so a lot of things you learn is about voice training and be able to do that. So when we talk about stage, we need to be big because you buy your ticket and the experience the person in the front row gets, you want to be able to get that even if you're sitting in the middle. So the acting is much bigger. The voice, of course, you project more. Film is a much smaller type of acting. You bring your emotions through your body, yes, but a lot of it we see on your face. It's smaller because the camera, of course, as we're doing right now, it's right in front of you. And even so, it can zoom in and zoom out and get that really tight close up to capture those expressions. I tell anybody, even if you don't stay, that you should do some kind of art form because it allows you to learn, like I said, learn more about yourself. And so the relevance will always be there because I think it even helps you to express yourself because a lot of people, they're so internalized sometimes. And when you get to theater and you have to open up and to become these other characters and you find things within yourself, strengths that you didn't know potentially had, I think it will always be relevant. And I think we always need to have that space where people can go and express themselves because there's a lot of cathartic energy there. You get to really release a lot of things because a lot of times you come to the play, it's dealing with very social issues that are tough, but you get to release it through those characters. And so, yeah, I think it will always hold relevance.
For every moment on stage, there are countless hours of preparation behind the scenes. The magic happens long before the curtains rises.
As an audience member, I would say I was really harsh. Sometimes I'm still a bit harsh. Even when people don't get it right, the amount of energy that goes into rehearsals. Let's choose a dance. The dance, most dances are about 4 minutes. And sometimes you practice for months to do 4 minutes on stage. And then sometimes you mess up during that 4 minutes after you've trained for months to do something. And I think the audience doesn't see that.
A lot of times some people see you do something that seems easy and, oh, I can do that, and it's effortless. And what they don't understand, it's like anything else. Well, they look at theater as this fun thing, and it is fun. It is fun to express yourself, but it takes the same amount of work and dedication that you would put into if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer. You still need to learn the craft and hone the craft. And so it takes a lot of pulling from yourself, your strengths, to be able to portray a character on stage, especially if it's something outside of who you are. You need to understand how people think. Am I playing this character? How does that character think? Pull from things you know in life. So it's not as easy as it looks. Be glad you think it's effortless and you come and you enjoy the play. But prior to that, there was so much work going into, and that's just the actor. think about all the people who are building the sets and having those to understand set construction and all these things. So it takes work.
I think people kind of look at performers and they forget that they're human too, and they forget that they have their own challenges going on, even though they're entertaining you. So I wish that they would see that more, and I think our audience would be a little more appreciative of the presentations that we make. But on that note also, let them still be critical, because them being critical helps us to be better.
Theatre is more than entertainment. It's a reflection of life, a platform for truth, and a connection between people.
Theatre arts is life. It's everyday life. It's transformative and it's powerful in just, it allows you to express yourself. So I would say theatre arts is life.
The playwright would normally look around in society and see things that he wants to say about society and tell it to the audience, and he writes it in a play, in the form of a play that can be performed. And well, clearly he would write it in such a way that it becomes entertaining, it becomes, it becomes instructive.
Theatre is supposed to help us think. Theatre is supposed to help us question. Theatre is supposed to make us better people. When we look at performances, we learn from their performance rather than having to experience it ourselves and having all that hurt and pain, even the happiness. Looking at other people and relating to that and letting it help you become a better person. So that's why even when I do productions with my group and I do productions with the National Drama Company, we try to do a purge. You give all the brackets of life, you give all the facets of life, but you must bring it to some positive end so you don't leave your audience in the darkness when they're leaving the show. I believe art imitates life. I know people usually say that. And if you realize that you can reach your audience and your audience can reach you and inspire you to do pieces, it's a beautiful experience. And these feelings aren't always from a place of emptiness. It's usually from experiences that we've had. So for me, like, my work helps me purge how I feel. So sometimes it reaches your audience and it helps them purge. And I believe that that's what theatre is supposed to do. It allows your audience to think and question and look at different perspectives and appreciate one another a little bit more.